Tommy with Elevation Every Weekend. Welcome back to the channel. Drop bar MTBs have gained popularity over the last 2 or 3 years, largely due to the highly competitive pro field in the Lifetime Grand Prix race series. Pros like Dylan Johnson, who is a popular YouTube channel and races in the Lifetime Grand Prix series, has really focused on marginal gains, and through his own testing has applied things like drop bars on his mountain bikes. And this has been done as a way to shave minutes off of his race times and be more competitive in the field. And this especially applies to longer mountain bike races, like the recently completed Leadville 100, which Keegan Swenson has won 2 years in a row now with drop bars on a full suspension mountain bike. So before I get into the specifics of this topic, let me know in the comments down below, drop bar MTBs, hot or not, and why. There are certainly trade-offs to running drop bars on a mountain bike. The benefits to using drop bars are primarily aerodynamic gains, and this comes from the lower rider position on the bike and the much narrower arm position compared to flat bars. The primary negative compared to flat bars is control and stability, especially in technical terrain or while descending at speed. In this video, I'm going to relay my own experience running drop bars on a bike designed around flat bar use. I built this bike here pretty much exactly how you see it about 4 years ago, so it was definitely not the result of any of the current trends in drop bar mountain biking. I built it for 2 reasons, aerodynamics and comfort. Really what encouraged me and allowed me to build it was the introduction of the Surly corner bar, which is a drop bar specifically designed to be compatible with mountain bike components. I've covered and tested these bars extensively on this channel, so if you want to learn more about them specifically, I'll link those videos in the pinned comment and description down below. Another point worth noting, this bike isn't a pure mountain bike. It's a Salsa bear grease. Yes, a fat bike. But I definitely feel that's a subset of mountain biking, since fat bikes essentially use mountain bike components in the same geometry. It is on the more nimble side of the spectrum as fat bikes go. It's a full carbon frame and fork, and has limited tire clearance for 27.5 by 4-inch tires. So definitely not on the mass monster side as fat bikes go, like my Surly ice cream truck. And coincidentally, Salsa just teased a new bike release coming soon, and as you can see here, it appears to be a drop bar full suspension mountain bike. So as mentioned earlier, I built this bike for aerodynamics and comfort. Now there really isn't much aerodynamic about the bike's design in and of itself, especially when you compare the frame attributes to something like a time trial or triathlon bike, which are fully optimized for aerodynamics in every detail. However, the rider's body is always the largest aspect of aerodynamic drag, which is why improving the rider's position aerodynamically can still yield big gains, even on a bike that's otherwise not aerodynamic in its design. Now, I'm not using aerodynamic gains to save time against the clock or for any competitive reasons. I built this bike because it's getting progressively windy here in Colorado, and as someone who rides 5 or 6 days a week pretty much year round, riding flat bars on those windy Colorado days can be brutal. This bike improves that ride experience significantly. Now there are 2 other noteworthy changes I made on this bike. First, it is set up with a 29 plus wheel and tire combination, so 29 by 3-inch tires. These are much lighter and faster rolling than the fat bike tires, and yes, more aerodynamic. But I still wanted a comfortable ride since it's a fully rigid bike, and good traction and durability, and a 3-inch tire checks all the boxes on those things. The other big addition are the aero bars, which is something you typically only see on a time trial or triathlon bike, but I put them on this bike to really maximize that aero position, which is a drastic improvement over even the drop bars. Now you're not seeing aero bars in Grand Prix racing anymore because they're now banned, especially on the gravel side. The other benefit to the aero bars is comfort. I built this bike for some of the longer rides that I do in the dirt, and they offer an additional really comfortable riding position on those long rides. It's not uncommon to see aero bars on bikes designed for bike packing, especially adventure riding or racing, like you would see in the Tour Divide series, as being able to change your position is critical in ultra endurance racing, and of course being able to cheat the wind is important there too. So the question is, should you be considering drop bars on your mountain bike? I would say if you're really looking for something to change things up, or if you really have a need to meet that drop bars can provide, then by all means you should give it a try. But there are some things you need to consider. First off, if you are going to try to put road drop bars on your mountain bike, you'll need to consider that you're going to have to change out your brakes and your shifters in order to fit the bars properly, which makes the change exponentially more expensive and involved to complete. Again, one of the benefits to the Surly corner bar is it's designed to work with the standard mountain bike brakes and shifters. So it's like any other flat bar swap you would do on your mountain bike. My only complaint with the corner bar is that it's only available in steel. Therefore, there is a weight penalty to running these bars. I think for most people, the better option would be to have a dedicated drop bar bike, like a gravel bike, that could still be fairly capable in the dirt, and allow you to leave the flat bars on your mountain bike. That said, I have racked up over 3,700 miles on this bike, and it really is a blast to ride, even when conditions aren't windy. This essentially has become my gravel bike, and it's not uncommon for me to roll past gravel riders or even catch the occasional roadie off guard on the pavement. About the only thing I would change on this bike, and still may do in the future, is to put a larger front chainring on it, as it is fairly easy to spin it out on pavement or flat conditions when the wind isn't a factor. So if you want to know more specific details about this bike, check out the videos I've linked down below. And if you have any questions, drop those in the comments down below. And if you found this video useful or entertaining, drop a like down below. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more with this bike or any of my other fat bikes or mountain bikes, click that subscribe button to not miss any future videos. Lots more coming, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot and have a great day.